Hi folks, July 15th, a warm muggy day on Vancouver Island. Trust everybody's fine. It's interesting, I found myself wound in a controversy here today. Just a quick look at a newspaper this morning, it's the local paper, and there is an article about a company who had done a flyer, and someone had linked them to the white supremacist movement. And of course I hadn't read the whole article, I just saw that picture, that headline, and I thought, what the heck's going on? Don't tell me we're getting all this nonsense even in this small town in our mainstream paper. So I picked up the phone and phoned the editor. Fortunately he wasn't in, but I got his voicemail, so I left a message telling him that it was sort of shoddy journalism and blah blah blah. Later in the day I got home and had a chance to read the whole article, and I called the editor back and sort of apologized. Didn't get a hold of him in person, just his machine again, so left him another message. And because what they were trying to do is just sort of explain the story. They weren't sort of calling this company as being white supremacist, although other organizations had. And so here I am, caught up in this whole thing. It's my own doing. It's my own doing. Should have read the article. I'll read everything through, folks. And I usually do. And now I'm in the position that Mr. Apologetic Justin Trudeau is apologizing for being stupid and not reading the whole article and getting both sides of the coin. So that's how my day started off, and it's been an interesting day. But I suppose it's there is so much of this political correctness going on. There's so much of this sort of downplaying religion, using the right word, the wrong word, downplaying science in a sense. Of course, they say they're based on science, but they're not based in psychological science. They're not based on biological science. They're not based on physical science. They just major in a minor term, and much like I did with this article, and just went on to be good. So I think we're at that point in time where people have to stand up. Read the thing first, though. Stand up and make ourselves heard. If we just keep letting people push this crap on us, it's going to be at a point where we won't get what we get. And I think a lot of the folks who, as you look at some polls they've done, over 50% of the people polled do not like the free enterprise system that we have. They would rather have a socialist, communistic plan. And all you have to do is look at China, although they have a thriving economy as well, but the people are controlled. And there's no way in China, what people are doing here, tearing down statues, doing all this goof shit, there's no way you do that in China. And so the people who are sort of digging, trying to find systemic racism, white privilege, all that sort of thing, I suppose you dig hard enough you can find anything if you have myopic vision and just looking for that, not looking at the whole picture. And I keep thinking, the North America has been built by a multitude of cultures, and it has been a great place to live and to work and to create opportunity, let people take advantage and create opportunities for themselves. And it hasn't all been pretty, like any country. You have the good, the bad, and the ugly. But I think in North America, the good far outweighs the bad and the ugly. Well, there's a segment of society that do shitty things. You know, the warmongers among us, but that's not all North Americans. That's a portion of the shadow government that does those sort of things. Those are also the folks who are trying to get us into this communistic idea where we be more control, working with this globalist idea of having a one world government and one world police force, that sort of thing, one world court system. It's interesting, but the country has been built. The country has been built by, like I say, a multitude of races, and what people call privilege. They wouldn't have the privilege they have now if it weren't for the hard work of the people who came before. And so they can twiddle their thumbs and go twiddly-dee, and all that sort of thing. But they really, really don't understand they haven't looked at the whole situation. Much like I did this morning with just glancing at a headline and a picture and saying that's bogus, instead of really understanding it. The concept, that calling that symbol a bogus symbol is just one of those crazy things. Apparently somebody had this upside down or something. I can remember when a Prime Minister used this on a regular basis. That was Justin Trudeau's father, Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau. I mean, he wasn't apologetic for things. He called it like it was and let people know. And you could not like him for it, or you could like him for his straightforwardness, unlike his son who sort of dances on cotton candy and bullshits us and does not come clean until somebody calls him on it and the evidence is there. So it's interesting. I see that more stores are calling for face masks if you're going to enter. Not so much up here in Canada yet. Although a lady was telling me this morning that some certain drug marts are, if you're going to go there, you'll have to have a mask. And I'm seeing more and more people wearing masks. It's, this whole thing is getting out of whack. And not to say that it isn't it hasn't been a serious illness for a lot of people. A lot of people have died and have struggled. There is no question. But I think our system has failed them. Instead of looking after the vulnerable, we just threw it all out to lunch, and everybody can look back at the misinformation and the craziness that happened. When we should have been pushing masks, everybody was laughing at the idea, from the World Health Organization on down. So, and those few people who were saying, no, if we don't know what this is, you should wear masks. They were handing out tin hats, sort of thing. So that's about all for today. I'm still shaking my head over the craziness, and see, I haven't told you to shake your head yet today. But it's interesting when you look at, we have a lot of politicians, bureaucrats, organizations and corporate organizations really pushing behind this thing. Whether it's from changing your name from Redskins to whatever, to using the correct pronoun, firing people for sort of acknowledging a tweet or acknowledging something that really isn't all that controversial. The people who were calling these folks white supremacists because of a symbol is sort of outrageous and crazy. And that's just the whole part of it. The whole part of it. So I think we have to stand up and to read the whole thing first, but really sort of call things what they are. And if we don't, like I say, we're going to have our butts handed to us in buckets. Take care for now. Have a good one, and bye for now.